Roper boots are simple and stylish. I have 6 in my collection right now, so I want to go through and rank them from worst to first. Let's do it.
I'm just here to connect ya, and then I'll be on my way.
Hey everybody, my name is Jeremiah Craig. Welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, please subscribe and always like and comment down below. And if you think somebody else that you know might be interested in this type of content, share this video with them. It actually goes a long way to help me continue doing what I do here on YouTube. We're talking Roper boots, which have been getting a lot of action on my channel here recently after doing that Roper Boots 101 video. So if you want to go check that out, please do so. I figured it was the perfect time to rank the 6 that I have in my collection. And we're going to be using the same ranking structure that I use for all of these boot ranking videos. Is it modern to traditionally made? You get a score of 1 for most modern, a score of 5 for most traditionally made, just because traditionally made is objectively better. The value, the price point to what you get, how does that rank? Sizing options, are there just a few width options or are there all the width options? Design, how do we feel about the quality of the leather, the stitching, and things like that? Spiritual experience is a complete ranking that is basically how I feel, very subjective when wearing the boots. And then we totaled that out of 25, 5 points each equals 25, so the highest score you can get is a 25. So with that, let's start at number 6 and go from worst to first. Coming in at number 6 is the Rhodes Roper boot. And this has a modern traditional score of 3. There are some traditionally made aspects to it, but overall, it's kind of more modern made with a removable foam insole. And under that, you got a cardboard footbed. So there's lots of stuff on the inside that makes this a little bit more cheaply made. For the value here, it comes in, I believe, at the low 200s, which is a decent price point for a boot like this. It's very simple designed, but there's very few sizes. They only have a D width, if I'm remembering correctly. So, you know, there's much more width sizes than that, and they're only getting 1 point for that. So not very many size options here. Design-wise, it's okay. The unlined top here, this suede, is really flimsy, so it's going to sag quite a bit, and the rubber outsole is nice, but for the most part, it's pretty stiff with the leather that they use and the cardboard footbed in here, so it's going to take a little bit extra time to break in, so not a huge fan of the design. Spiritual experience, they didn't have my size. I'm a B width, this is a D width, so I really didn't enjoy wearing this at all. I felt actually kind of angry at times because the fit just didn't feel good, even for an 11D, which is what I would usually go for. So it got a 1 for that. So total score here is 11. So Roper Rhodes boot coming in last in my Roper rankings video. Coming in at number 5 is the Ariat Heritage Roper. You know, this is not traditionally made at all. It's a very modern made boot through and through. Rubber outsole and the heel, it's all molded. It's not a Goodyear welt. On the inside, you got a removable foam insole with composites under that. So this is a very modern made boot, but they got a lot of sizes. And the value is kind of high for what it is. It comes in at like maybe 120 to 150. And I honestly think that it's one of the better boots that you can get for that price, if not the best, especially considering that they have B widths. They have a bunch of different width sizes, so they get 3 points for that. The design, very boring. It's just a Roper boot, right? A lot of these Roper boots have pretty low design scores just because it's a Roper. They're not supposed to be designed. So it's it's just a whatever boot, but I really enjoy wearing this. I have been wearing this for a few years now, and I won't sell this. I'll definitely be keeping this boot and be wearing it around as a shit kicker boot for as long as it will let me. And it definitely lets a lot of people wear them for a very long time. So I'm going to keep this one for as long as it will let me. The Ariat Heritage Roper comes in at number 5. Coming in at number 4 is another Ariat boot, except this is made in Mexico, and it's from their Benchmade collection. This is the Ariat Clanton, using bison leather on the foot counter and the shaft. So this is a little bit more traditionally made than a lot of stuff that Ariat has produced in the past. They are still cutting corners. They have a celastic heel counter in here, but on the inside, it's very traditionally made and very similar to a Chisos, which we found out earlier this year. Hard leather insole in here, underneath the removable insole, just like a Chisos. So very similar stuff. It does have a plastic shank. It's a pretty beefy plastic shank, but for what it is, I believe the value is quite high when you compare it to the expensive nature of a Chisos. So really great value here, but they don't have very many sizes. It's only a D and a double E, I believe. So I won't be keeping this one since it's not in my size. I'll definitely be selling this shortly. Design, again, just very simple design. There's nothing going on here for the most part. So it actually has the same score as the Ariat Heritage Roper at 14, even though they're scoring in completely opposite areas of this chart, which is really interesting. So I had to give this a tiebreaker just because it's more traditionally made. Speaking of Chisos, coming in at number 3 is the Chisos King Roper. This is an all ostrich boot, so you got full quill ostrich on the foot and the counter, and then smooth ostrich up here on the top. And this is a shorter boot. I believe they're making them a little bit taller now. This comes in at about 8 inches tall. The ones I saw online are around 10 inches tall now. And again, very traditionally made here, although we did find some inconsistencies in that Chisos video that we did comparing it to the Ariat from what they were marketing. Now they're doing 2 leather pieces back here in their heel counter, but they were doing a half a leather piece and a celastic piece to sort of make up for the half leather piece. So now they'll be more traditionally made, but even with that, the value here is very low, in my opinion. They're selling this boot for almost $1,300. This is a Mexican-made, full quill, full ostrich boot. All right? So you could get a US-made boot just like this from Blackjack for cheaper. The Blackjack Ropers were coming in at like $12.67 at timsboots.com, and then on top of that, I got a save 10% promo code, Jeremiah Craig 1 at Tim's Boots, which will save $120, which brings that closer to, $1,000. So why is a Mexican-made boot more? Chisos is saving money on labor and then making that up in margin. Are you kidding me? The value there is stupid. You might as well go US made with Blackjack boots and use my promo code to save even more. And Blackjack is just better anyways. They don't try to fake you out with any kind of weird marketing nonsense like Chisos does on a regular basis. Still, it looks really nice, right? The design is pretty. I love the color here, the full quill ostrich. It is a little bit thicker for full quill ostrich. I feel like a lot of nice ostrich boots are thin and supple. This is going to take a little bit of time to break in. Size-wise, there's only 2 on a good day. Most of the time it's only D width, but they do have double E's every once in a while. Again, not my true size here, so spiritual experience is kind of low, and I won't be keeping this one either. I'll be selling this one eventually as well. For the moment, it's just a stunt boot until I finish all the content that I need to do with it, and then I'll be selling it. So there's 3 boots in this list that I will not be keeping. Coming in at number 2 is the classic Justin Roper, and this is an older model that is more traditionally made. I got off of the secondhand marketplace. This is model number 3802. So this is traditionally made. It's got a leather insole, hard leather insole. It's got a leather outsole. Classic Roper 1-inch heel here, leather lined all the way through. You can't get a Justin boot Roper like this one anymore, unfortunately. So I had to get one off of the used marketplace in my real size. So it's got a modern, traditionally made score of 5. Value, since I got it on the used market, 5. Great deal. I think I ended up getting it for like $40 or something like that. I can't quite remember. But back in the day, Justin was also making all their boots in a whole bunch of different sizes. You could get them from A to triple E. So size score here is a 5. Design-wise, Justin classic Roper. I had to give it a 5. This is just a Roper style through and through, coming from the brand that made Ropers kind of what they are. Spiritual experience is a 3. I'm not a huge fan of just Ropers in general with the fit. Usually the arch is pretty low, so I'm not a huge fan of wearing these on a regular basis, but that still gives them a score of 23, which is why they come in at number 2. Classic Justin 3802 Ropers here. And my favorite Roper in this list might not even be considered a Roper by many of you, but it hits all of the marks. Round toe, short heel, short top. This is a Blackjack Rocky Mountain Ranger. So we have bison leather here on the foot and goat leather here on the top. This is green. It's got some cording in here. Very, very nice boot from Blackjack. And Blackjack makes a traditionally made boot through and through. I was talking about that comparison with Chisos earlier. For a US-made boot, it's extremely reasonable. I believe this is coming in at the high 400s just because it is such a high quality factory-made boot. US cowboy boot factories tend to produce a little bit more of expensive products, but it's also the materials that they use. The outsole is like 12 iron, super stiff, and it takes a minute to break in, but it's really nice. So all of the qualities of this boot, all of the materials are just superior in every way. Traditionally made, 5. Value, 5. I mean, US made through and through. What you get with a Blackjack boot is crazy. Size, whatever size you want. You could get whatever size you want. Design, 5. Roper boots don't look like this, but it's a Roper boot, right? And spiritual experience, 4. Had a little bit more arch support than some of the others in this list. And, it's okay. I never get too excited about a Roper boot, but that gives this a total score of 24. What do you guys think? This is number 1. Let me know your favorite down in the comments, and also what your top scoring Roper boot is in your collection. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe while you're here, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.
Well, Roper boots are simple and Roper boots are nice. Takes attention to detail to justify the price. Yeah. Thanks so much for watching today. If you haven't checked out that Roper 101 video, definitely check it out up here. Or I got a music video down here I think you might enjoy. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Peace. Have a good one.